Welcome to Everyday Millionaires, the podcast that dives deep into the lives of self made millionaires who didn't inherit their wealth, win the lottery, or ride some viral crypto wave. These are real people, disciplined, strategic, purpose driven, who built wealth quietly, consistently, and authentically. I'm your host Hari, and today's episode kicks off season 1 with the incredible journey of a woman who turned adversity into advantage, a side hustle into a 7-figure exit, and a rented kitchen into a business that fed tens of thousands. Meet Katherine, an immigrant from Africa who landed in Toronto with $3,000, a hospitality diploma, and a dream to build something of her own. Today she's a millionaire, but her road wasn't easy, and it certainly wasn't short. This is the story of how she built a cloud kitchen empire, one spicy bowl at a time. Let's dig in. Katherine, welcome to Everyday Millionaires. It's such an honor to have you.
Thank you, Harry. Honestly, I'm still getting used to telling this story. I spent so long working in the business that I never thought much about the story behind it.
That's what we're here for. So, 2015. You land in Canada. Walk us through the early days.
Sure, I arrived with 2 suitcases, no credit history, and a big smile. I took a job as a dishwasher at a downtown pub, minimum wage. But I worked doubles, took night shifts, saved everything. Within a year, I'd moved up to line cook, and in 2016, I started journaling business ideas. You don't need capital to start planning. Start with a notebook. Every idea, every menu concept, every app you admire, write it down.
What was the breakthrough moment?
2019, I read a case study in Fast Company about Travis Kalanick starting cloud kitchens in the US. The light bulb went off. No rent, no servers, no decor, just food, a kitchen, and an app. I pitched the idea to 3 friends. They laughed, ha ha ha. But I called a shared commercial kitchen in Scarborough the next day and signed a 6-month lease.
Oh, that was bold. What did the launch look like?
Chaotic. I branded the first menu as Afro-Caribbean Fusion. I spent $4,700 on packaging, ingredients, and the used iPad. I had no team, just me, cooking, packing, delivering sometimes. First week, 11 orders, mostly friends. I still have these screenshots. But then I started experimenting with data. I tracked order patterns, delivery times, customer reviews. I optimized the menu based on margin. I caught dishes that took longer than 6 minutes to prep. I switched to eco-friendly containers and made that part of my brand.
Wow, that's impressive. When did things explode?
Let me tell you, March 2020, COVID hit. While brick and mortar restaurants were shutting down, I was already built for delivery. In 1 week, my orders jumped from 40 to 180. I was cooking until 3 a.m. and sleeping on a yoga mat in the kitchen office.
You started scaling fast. Talk us through that phase.
I had a decision to make: stay solo and max out at 200 orders per week or reinvest and scale. I chose scale. I launched another restaurant, one in May 2020. I hired 2 part-time line cooks. I negotiated a second shared kitchen lease in Etobicoke by June. I brought on my younger cousin as ops manager. She automated inventory, scheduled shifts, and handled customer emails. By December 2020, we were grossing $50,000 per month across all brands, 38% margins. I started paying myself $2,000 a month and socked the rest into a business emergency fund and new kitchen equipment.
So you didn't splurge?
No way. I drove a 2009 Corolla. I bought a used fridge off Kijiji. I even did the branding myself on Canva for 6 months.
Amazing. So what led to the million?
burnout plus baby. In late 2022, I found out I was pregnant. I was excited, but I also knew the business needed daily attention. I had 6 staff, 2 kitchens, 3 brands, and no real off switch. Then came an email from a local delivery group. They'd been watching us on their apps. Our reviews were top rated. They offered to acquire all 3 brands and assume our leases. We negotiated for 2 months. I brought in a small business lawyer and an accountant. I cleaned up my books, formalized SOPs, and packaged our IP and customer data cleanly.
Wow. And the final deal?
Ooh, 1.38 million Canadian dollars. After taxes, lawyer fees, and paying off a $40,000 business line of credit, I walked away with just over 1.1 million net.
What did you do with the money? And
I invested $500,000 into low-risk ETFs, $200,000 into a pre-construction condo, and set up a $100,000 RESP and TFSA for my son.
what's life like now?
Simpler, calmer. My son is 9 months old. I volunteer once a week teaching immigrant women about entrepreneurship. I'm also quietly working on a cookbook/memoir. I call it Spice and Grit.
Beautiful. If you had one piece of advice for the next Katherine out there, what would it be?
Let me think. Start ugly. Stay consistent. Keep receipts. And remember, your background isn't a burden. It's your blueprint.
What a way to launch Everyday Millionaires. Katherine's story is the ultimate blend of hustle and heart, but beneath her calm voice is a sharp entrepreneur who built something scalable, valuable, and transferable, and did it with integrity. Repeat key takeaways: build lean and iterate fast, track your margins ruthlessly, prepare for both growth and exit, spend strategically and invest wisely, and finally, know when to pivot. Not every millionaire wears a suit. Some wear aprons, wield spatulas, and scale empires from scratch. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with someone who needs to hear it. The next story might be yours.